Hi guys, it's me, just listening again, and for this video that will be dedicated to the Avatar The Last Airbender vlogs, I shall be covering Chapter 18 of Book 1 of this fabulous show, called, the name of the episode is called The Waterbending Master. And as you can tell from the name of that, this chapter is squarely in the water category right here. Wait, this episode is interesting because it shows how the divergent the culture of the water tribe, which General Zhao, General Admiral Zhao refers to them as the Great Nation. That was a typo in the script, or if they really do respect the water tribe. But they refer to them as nation. Anyway, it's just that this culture is a lot different from the southern water tribe grouping, which is actually kind of weird because I would think that they'd be like on equal terms. But I guess not. I'll get into some of this a little bit. But for right now, Team Avatar, Aang, Katara, and Sokka have to go to the North Pole to meet with Santa Claus so he get the waterbending training of a master waterbender. And he hopes to get that in the form of a gift from Santa Claus. Unfortunately, Santa Claus in this show is a jerk. Especially your Katara, because she's a woman. We can't have prissy women doing waterbending fighting in this culture. But anyway, they choose that Appa is up there doing his best to swim to the new area, and he's under attack by some of the outlier defenses for the Great Sea, the Great Sea of the North, which I don't believe that they actually name it in this episode or in any episode that follows it. I think the only major sea that is named is Bossing Say. That'd be the Earth Kingdom capital. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I think that's the one that's named. But anyway. This is where the first major divergence comes from, because the northern tribe does have defenses around it, and it does have like important stuff around it too, like high defenses, walls and all that. But the southern temple doesn't have much in the way of defense. That's why they were easily steamrolled over by the Fire Nation ships. And I know that it could be attributed to the fact that there were so many warriors and so many people over in the southern area, but still, there should be some resembling equal. It's like the difference between New York City New York City and my town. Like, my town's got like only a 3,000 population, somewhere around there. And New York City had a population of like 8 million people. So there's a big size difference. Not that exact amount, but more like, if I had to guess, I would say that there'd be like about 200 people that are in the southern part, and the northern area has like about maybe 100,000 people at most. That's being generous on the southern part, by the way. But still, I guess they must put like a high value on the northern group. So anyway, we find that Team Avatar has to go to, talk to the various people about it, of the Hum Appa in the movable ice fields that the Waterbending patrolmen actually put up against Appa because he's a kind of invader. So then they end up going to the northern city, and I must say it looks magnificent. Place that was purely made of ice and water. But like really nice. And I think the inspiration was from real life cities that in Iceland and in the Nordic countries that are made of pure ice. So that's something nice to see that, real world inspiration for this thing. But there's one thing that I want to know. How are they able to cook their food if there's no real heat over there? Unless they use purely geothermal vents to like heat the water and make cooking water and grilling possible. Otherwise, like, I am not seeing 1 ounce of fire in this episode. Maybe if they do, they'll probably make up something evaporate or melt or something. So anyway, they also show this, and during this part, they also have like a part where Zuko and Iroh and Zhao have like a little thing about it. But I'll try to focus on one area at a time, because it can be kind of confusing at times. So, pretty much, Team Avatar is around the sea, and I like the fact that they don't have the chief of the water, king or whatever you call him, is not related directly to the water master, which is Pagu. And this is pretty good because then they don't have any conflict of interest with them. It could have been so easy to have the master be like the son or the brother or himself, king of the water tribe. So anyway, so I got fallen in love with Princess Jue, which, thank God, didn't go with the same design for her hair in the first movie, because the live action movie has her as like a real dickhead, if you will. You gotta see the movie to understand, but yeah. Anyway, she eventually looks like she's falling in love with him too, and they're gonna meet at one of the bridges in the city, and then they're going to have an activity together. Whatever that means, I wouldn't know. So anyway, and the one to learn what I've been from the master Paco, and the chief, the leader, the king, is very open to this. He wants to teach. He wants Aang to learn how to do waterbending from the master, because he knows that the Avatar has like a very important role in life and stuff, so he has to be taught by the Supreme Master. But during the main dinner, they have like a celebratory hydrotechnic war display. I guess it would be pyrotechnics or fire, but this was a hydrotechnic. Anyway, they have this, and they have like them do tricks on street level backflips with the water and stuff. It's really impressive. Then come kind of to learn from the master how to do it. So Aang wants to be told with his friend about it. But the thing is that Paco originally wanted to teach Aang and his friend kind of rude to accept to want your friend to be involved with your learning too, but still whatever. And that's the part that drives me crazy. But the part that drives me crazy is the fact that Master Paco doesn't want to teach Katara because she's a girly girl. And he's actually pretty rude about it too, like go home with a girl, the healing in the hut over there, and they're kind of rude about that. And the thing is that the reason why this gets my goat is the fact that number one, he's rude about it. Number two, in the southern portion of the world, that's not a big issue. That's not a big issue because everyone's got to defend the area, and the younglings involved from outside attackers. So I don't understand how this war tribe group has such a beef against women. I understand that it's like a deep cultural thing that women can't fight and all this stuff, and the two are twisty and whatnot. But for him to have such an attitude toward it, kind of stupid, kind of dumb, and lame, and too old-fashioned. My only guess is that it's very similar to how certain animals evolve differently in nature. So you got some birds with like bigger beaks, and others with narrower beaks and long wings and all that stuff too. Kind of like Darwin was saying. The same can be said for different isolated cultures that came from the same root. So why did come here with that? One group became the southern tribe and the other became the north tribe. So that let's see. So that one group allows women to do all the fighting for them, like in the case of Katara's mother and her, etc., etc., etc. And then the other was more considerate about that they had to let women do only healing and such like that. with and says, that with guitar, I'll teach you what I learned from Paco, so that I can practice and you can learn how to do it from me. So she agreed to that. But even then, Paco's a dick about it. And he said that, you have basically, you disrespected me, my teachings, and my culture. Get out. I don't care if you're the avatar. Get out. So, that's like a big no-no. He got this big, sexist chip on his shoulder about women at any age learning how to fight. Bending. With that, that when it comes to defense of your culture, of your people, we think that everyone that can fight should fight. But whatever. So, the other point I want to make is that they have healing classes there. And now, healing is an aspect of defensive waterbending. Defensive waterbending. In that, you heal someone, you can defend them, or you can. Another way to put it is a non-offensive way to waterbend. And there will keep women doing that, that's fine. Even though we have no thing that we have nothing based on in the southern portion of the world. Now, my point with this is that, first of all, this whole comes with interest with the women waterbender fighters like combatants and stuff. It never arose once before, There are no women fighters in the I guess, Navy or Army in the waterbending tribe. So there was a little issue that never came up once, just when guitar came into play. Now, the next thing too is that when they have the women waterbender there, the person who is teacher is an older woman. Yeah, I'll give it that older women often do teach young people how to do what they do. That's kind of part for the course. Unless they have a male teacher there doing the healing aspect of it. Because, human body is like 70% water. So that makes sense. What doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of offensive to Katara, is that Katara is like somewhere around 14 years old, around that age grouping. But all the people that are learning how to waterbend or to heal are all children. They're more like 9 years old, and they're all girls. There are no male healers in the group. So there's something else too that kind of gets my goat. Is that number one, it's indoctrinating them to be inferior to combatants and be more of a medical nurse field when they're young. Okay? Second of all, they're just having little kids that like go with the baby, Katara, go with the baby. You'll be fun with the baby. You'll be fun with the children. So that's kind of like a little insult to her age and to her gender too. So yeah, I don't like that at all. Until later on, it's revealed that I'll get to that. We'll go on. So anyway, talk about arranged marriages, and that Yue is arranged marriage to somebody else. She's engaged to somebody else. Just turned, I think, 16 years old. So that would cut it down a lot. So anyway, then they showed that this will come into play a little bit later too, about what we were talking about before with Tara. So anyway, the teacher there noticed that her necklace is seen as what Pagu. That's right. She knew that necklace because the necklace was a gift, an engagement gift from somebody in Katara's family, grand, and until it only comes into play later on. It's linked off of Katara's neck, a beautiful neck. So anyway, during an insult, there was a council of the people in the water truck, the High Council, and the leader king guy said, what am I gonna do? Force Paku to take on the Avatar and Katara and teaching them how to do it. Because he reasoned, no, you dishonored me and all that. So he said, yeah, no, you should do that. You are the ruler, you are the king, you do whatever you want. You make the guy learn, you make the guy teach at least the Avatar how to do waterbending. It's so important. Not too much Katara. We'll have to just swallow pride and accept it. To which Pagu made a snide remark about it, of course. And Katara didn't like it. And she said, well, if you're man enough, go outside and fight me. And yeah, they do a pretty good fight. With her really surprising the guy. And he even she's all her slice of ice and took him out like discs and all that. And you do like the Matrix style slow motion and that kind of thing. It's really cool. No pun intended. Until he actually does trap her in ice and make sure she can't move to waterbend out of it. Much later on in the series, she'll learn blood bending, so that she'll be able to get out of that same situation if Pagu loves her. So anyway, I'll go back to she used a water whip to actually whip some sense into the guy in the back of her head, and then loves it off. I'm gonna take you down and make you learn your place. The car actually does surprise him. He does but it's such a rude mother. He was such a rude person with her, and all the people, the king, the Sokka, Yue, even Ango. I didn't know she could do that when she's that pissed off. Let me think twice about upsetting her or going out with her or whatever. So anyway, that's very funny. When she's pissed off, she's in rage mode, and she's pissed off, she's actually quite a formidable foe to the guy. Because not only is she defending her honor, but she's also defending all the women over there who want to bend, but they can't do it because of the stupid societal rules and this one guy being a real stickler for the rules. Because, you know, men can only men can do this to certain aspect and go home to local school, quite literally. So, anyway, back to the necklace. When you walk away from it, or you pick up the necklace it's like, I remember that this is the necklace I made for Kaya. How do you know my grand's name? She was betrothed to you, of all people, you, the little skinflint. No wonder why she never got married to this guy. He's a bozo. The Texas prick. So anyway, love went acceptance of the rule of letting Katara take the arena under his tutelage, being next being trained by the waterbending master Pagu. Now later on we'll see when he takes back Basing with the other White Lotus members, King Boomy, Zhang, Iroh, and the other sword master, which I forgot his name offhand. But he's cool. He's very disciplined, but a real prick, right? And they say, he says, you'll be late to be trained with the Avatar. That's how they continue on with it. And you wait, just don't make it suck gut and happy. So that's it with Team Avatar. Now for the bad guy, Team Dark. So, I wrote his with nephew, and he's picture singing. I don't know Mako is actually singing in Japanese with Latin or something like that, but it's pretty cool to hear him actually singing. And General Val is over there looking for his weapons and stuff, his personal weapons, and they make the connection that Zuko is really the blue spirit that allowed the Avatar to escape a few episodes back. So he's really pissed off at that. He ruined a chance to capture the Avatar and gain favor with Ozai. And one of the characters in it is voiced by Mark Hamill, but I'm not sure about that. So anyway, he's really pissed off at it, and he's over there making deals with the pirates from a few episodes back in the Waterbending school. And the thing of it is that he wants Zuko out of the picture altogether so that he can get the Avatar for himself. But he can't do it himself because he is royalty and stuff. Even though he's banished, he is royalty and he doesn't want anybody pushing him. So Zhao has the pirates set up, explosives on the ship while I was away, walking around the island. So, I love the way he does all this in secret without Zuko even knowing about it. And it just so happened that one of the pirates makes a noise on the ship and alerts Zuko to it. And then while Zuko's in the bridge of the ship, he sees the little dragon bird there, lead pirate, and that's what tips him off about that something's up and that everything could go boom real soon. Now my question is, Zuko and Iroh are, well, mainly Zuko is on the ship and he's like a firebending master. Would it make more sense that something goes up and flames blows up? Wouldn't it make sense that Zuko could, bend that so it doesn't affect him? But no, they have it for Zuko blows out of the ship out of when the windows, and Iroh, showing his family compassion, run back at Britney's to go get him. And that's when they decide to go secretly into the Avatar, into the North Pole, and get the Avatar by themselves because they know that that Zhao wants to kill him. Do whatever it takes to kill him. So yeah, I like this episode a lot because there's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of backstabbing involved there. There's a thing with UA which will be explained in the next episode or beyond that. And I'm almost done with this season of this book. My goodness. So I like the way the North and the South War tribe that diverted into different cultures more or less, and just being the waterbenders that live in cold weather. Also, I like the way that Fire Nation does is respect the equal and opposite element in fire and water. So they are superior in weaponry and tactics and stuff. You do respect them as a common nation, even though they're not really a nation. At least not. I wish the kingdom of the earth to be more of a nation than the water tribes against the nomads and water tribes and the earth kingdom and the fire nation. So yeah, I also like the fact that Zhao tried to kill Zuko just because he becomes a traitor and all of that. So the aspect. So yeah, there was a lot to unpack in this one. And I thank you for watching my video on Chapter 18 of Book 1 of the show, The Waterbending Master. And I think I showed you about how the northern city is more fortified than the southern aspect, and that the place has more fortifications, a much bigger city, much more magnificent and grand too, and there's an actual king over there too, with Princess Yue. I think that it's a good trick to get with UA because they're both waterbenders, both waterbending tribe, and just enjoy the whole romance aspect of it, and the fact that the culture kind of divulged a lot. It's kind of like the difference between like Italian and French, because it came from the same language, Latin, among a few others. But then they became different to become the language of France and the colonies, and Italy and the colonies. So yeah. By the way, we use the cold today because my town reached like 74, 75 degrees today. Oh, a little cold would be nice. Alright. I give this episode, as I give many episodes, my happy face is super cool because it was awesome. And it was awesome the fact that guitar gave the waterbending prick, waterbending master prick, a piece of her mind. And the only reason why he got allowed to do what she did, training and stuff, is probably because, you know, he was betrothed to her grandmother, and that would have been a good unification between North and Southern War tribes. But with Chinsaga and Katara's character for doing that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole connection between romance and forced marriage and that kind of thing. Like they wouldn't love in that relationship. And I like the way they have they showed that it was not for lovers. It was more for just forced by arrangement. And he broke out of it. That's the only reason why Paco was nice enough to let Guitar drink from with him. So anyway, Blood's got the hitting ability, so it's kind of like you double dipped in both the combat and the hitting aspect of it, of waterbending. It's kind of a cheat, but whatever. So anyway, if you guys like what you see here, you want to see more of my videos and such, you know, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You know, also contact me for future information on my future stuff. I usually my cell phone, call me or texting me at 631 707 3707. And if you can permanent employee or actively prefer at pmailsonpro.com. Pmailsonpro. Also, my email is at jjsviewingchannel at gmail.com. So, I salute all you people there who like equality among the sexes. Because that's what it's all about. And any role that men can take, a woman can do. But yeah. You picked up my brothers and sisters. And aloha, sayonara. See ya, all you girls and guys in Internet land. See you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen.